Our why today. Why is the Constitution a tricky obstacle for the haters to overcome? Warren P. was on with our morning news last week, and he says that Senator Analyse Ortiz, has admitted to a crime when she tweeted the location of ICE agents, retweeted location of ICE agents, and said that she doesn't believe anyone is here illegally, that there is no such thing as legal or illegal, that you're a person, especially if you're on your native land, this sort of thing, and that she would help anyone, legal or illegal, regardless. She wants to help them. He said that's admitting to a crime. As we just pointed out, simply offering help is not aiding and abetting. If you hide someone, well, that might be aiding and abetting. But if you, say, put someone in contact with an immigration attorney, I would call that helping someone, wouldn't you? Is that aiding and abetting?
Yeah, I mean, you could just be helping people know about traffic in the area. There's a lot of degrees to help.
So, well, that's a different story. One of the things that we kept doing is we kept mistaking Warren P. for Jake Hoffman. Jake Hoffman is the senator who, we call him Speedy.
He agrees with Warren Petersen on this.
He does, and he takes it one step further. He put out a tweet that said, she's doxing ICE agents and openly putting the lives of American law enforcement at risk.
Wants her to lose her gig.
Wants her expelled from the Senate. Joining us right now is our KTAR legal analyst, Barry Markson. Barry, you've got the Senate president, and then you've got the Senate, I don't know, kook, all screaming at Analyse Ortiz, who is never shied away from publicity either, that she has violated a statute, making it a crime to impede federal law enforcement, saying it is obstruction. Telling Lori Roberts at the Republic it's using their locations to obstruct justice and help someone trying to avoid law enforcement. Does she have a First Amendment protection in this case?
She does. It's absolutely a First Amendment protected speech to say that law enforcement is in a certain area, and it doesn't violate the statute with what she's doing. Can you obstruct law enforcement? Yes, if they're in the middle of an arrest, if you're doing something to block them from doing so, if you're informing somebody who's about to have a warrant or an arrest made, yes, but not just generally ICE is in the area, which is what she was doing. So, I mean, if you think about it, there are police scanners out there that tell you where the police are and where they're going. There's Waze, just driving around with the traffic app Waze has a thing on there where you can notate where police are so that the drivers following you will know there's police there and to watch your speed. So none of that is illegal. There's a lot of political talk. Unfortunately, they're trying to make it sound like legal talk. And also, of course, using the word doxing. This isn't doxing. Nobody's giving out an ICE officer's home address or phone number or anything like that at all. So it's a lot of to do about nothing, but it does make great political theater for those on the right supporting what Trump is doing with the his immigration plan right now.
Talking with KTAR legal analyst Barry Markson. Barry, Warren Petersen has called for a federal investigation to Senator Ortiz and her comments here. What would a federal investigation look like? And if the DOJ does turn up with something and say that it rises to the level of obstruction of justice or some other crime, where would things go from here then?
Well, it's not going to. What a federal investigation of this looks like is nothing. It's nothing happening. You guys know I'm an attorney. I think very. I analyze what people do who are running for attorney general or county attorney. I find those positions to be much more than political. You are, as attorney general, you're the chief law enforcement officer in the state of Arizona. Warren Petersen is running for that office. The first question I always ask him is, you made a referral for them to investigate Senator Ortiz. What crime is it you think she has committed? What statute has she violated? And the answer to that is one doesn't exist. In his referral, he didn't refer to a law that she's broken, so or alleged to have broken. So I again, this seems awfully political to me. It certainly drives home your position with your base to say I'm going after a liberal Democrat who is trying to stop us from enforcing immigration law, right? You can't go wrong saying that in a Republican primary, but that doesn't mean a law isn't broken or that a federal investigation is warranted.
Let me test the limits of that First Amendment, Barry, if you don't mind. I was reading commentary by Lori Roberts from the Republic, and she was talking about Trump's comments, which Warren Petersen brought up and said that Mays wanted to invest President Trump for his comments when he called Liz Cheney a war hawk. Of course, he omitted, when he was relaying the story, he omitted that it wasn't just that Trump called her a war hawk. He said she's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her. Okay, let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face. Mays then asked her staff to analyze whether those remarks qualified as a death threat under Arizona law. Now, Warren Petersen said that it was quite obviously a First Amendment protected speech. Roberts went on to make the case, though, that Ortiz isn't implying that people should grab their guns and confront ICE agents. She isn't calling on protesters to block ICE agents from enforcing federal immigration law. If she were to say, ICE is coming, grab a gun, would that be protected under the First Amendment?
It would certainly be potentially a crime and not protected under the First Amendment if she's encouraging people to come out and be violent, if she's encouraging people to interact in a negative way with law enforcement, to get in their way, to obstruct. That's different. Certainly if you're making threats and physical threats or death threats against police officers, that's different. So that now you are violating the law, and now your First Amendment protection is going to shrink considerably in relation to that. So that is completely different. That's not what she said here. What Senator Ortiz said here was simply, there's ICE in this area.
All right, then let's test this theory. Let's test it then. Yeah. What if she were to say, let's put ICE there standing with a rifle with 9 barrels shooting at them. Okay, let's see how they feel about it. You know, when the guns are trained on their faces. Had she said that, would it have been a protection by the First Amendment? Which is verbatim what Trump said.
Yeah, if it can be construed as a threat, a physical, violent threat, then that changes everything. Again, that's not what she said, but I understand you're taking it to what Trump said. So yes, if you're going to threaten law enforcement, if you're going to threaten violence, and you're encouraging people to go out and do something like that, then yes, I think that can potentially be a violation of federal statute. But again, that's not what she did. It's not even close to what she did.
Isn't there a criteria for whether or not that action is going to happen immediately, or whether somebody's just spouting off? I mean, we've all said, "Oh, I'd like to kill that guy." So is that illegal? I mean, am I making a threat?
No, if it's general and not illegal, and you're just using rhetoric like that, it's fine. That's different than saying ICE is going to be out at Baseline and 35th Avenue at 2 p.m. today. Let's get our guns and meet them there.
Okay, all right.
Those are two different things.
Okay, all right. So there has to be a certain imminent action, like it's predictable that it's going to happen then.
I think so, and it doesn't have to be immediate, but it can be. We know ICE is going to be somewhere next week, and we're encouraging people to show up with guns and to be a blockade and to keep ICE from going into a building or arresting someone. Then yes, that can be seen differently. It's, again, all of this is very fact driven, but what Senator Ortiz did here doesn't rise to that level in the slightest.
All right. Talking with our legal analyst Barry Markson about whether or not what Arizona Senator Analise Ortiz said rose to the level of a crime when she told people to stay away from an area where ICE was going to be. Barry, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe, and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.